Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night for no apparent reason? Have you felt that, even though your body is tired, your mind won't stop racing? Do you toss and turn in bed, staring at the ceiling, hoping sleep will return? But it never does. You are not alone. Millions of older adults around the world experience this same ordeal night after night. The most painful part isn't just the lack of sleep, but the feeling that each day becomes a little harder to live with energy, clarity, and hope. Let me share a true story. Mary is 76 years old. Since she became a widow nearly 3 years ago, she struggled with sleep. At first she thought it was grief, then loneliness, then age. She tried pills, teas, even relaxing music, but nothing seemed to help her truly rest. Until her grandson, worried to see her growing more drained each day, took her to a sleep specialist for seniors. What they discovered completely changed her routine and her life. Did you know there are foods that can help you sleep better entirely naturally? We're not talking about magic solutions or empty promises. We're talking about science. Real research by doctors and nutritionists who have found that what you eat before bed can be the difference between a sleepless night and a deep, restorative rest. In this video, I'll share 5 foods that doctors especially recommend for older adults suffering from insomnia. Foods that can help you fall asleep, stay asleep through the night, and above all, wake up feeling renewed. We'll look at why they work, how you should consume them, and what mistakes to avoid when adding them to your routine. Plus, I'll tell you true stories of people like you who transformed their nights without resorting to expensive medications or invasive treatments. And stick around until the end, because the 5th food is one of the most powerful and the most overlooked by most people. You might even already have it in your kitchen and not realize it. Sleeping well isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. And after a certain age, every night of good rest can make a huge difference in how you live your days. So if you're ready to reclaim the rest you deserve, join me on this journey. Before we begin, I'd love to know, where in the world are you watching us from, and how old are you? Feel free to share in the comments. I'd love to get to know you better. Food. 1. Cherry. Let's start with the first food that can help you banish insomnia naturally. And it's as simple as a cherry. Yes, the cherry. This small red fruit isn't only delicious and refreshing, it's also one of the few natural sources of melatonin found in nature. Melatonin, as you may know, is the hormone that regulates our sleep cycle. When it's balanced, we feel sleepy at the right time, sleep deeply, and wake up energized. But as we age, our melatonin levels decline. That's why many older adults struggle to fall asleep or wake up several times during the night. This is where the cherry comes into play. A study published in the Journal of Medicinal Food found that older adults who drank cherry juice twice a day for 2 weeks significantly increased both the duration and quality of their sleep. Researchers noted that participants not only slept longer, but they also woke up less frequently during the night. Let me share a real story. Charles is 72 years old. For years he suffered from intermittent insomnia. He'd awaken at 2, 3, or 4 in the morning. He tried infusions, routines, even avoided screens. But nothing seemed to work completely, until his granddaughter, a nutrition student, suggested something she'd learned in class: a glass of cherry juice, 1 hour before bed. Charles tried it out of curiosity, with low expectations. The first night he slept 5 hours straight. The second night, 6. By the third night, he didn't even remember when he had fallen asleep. Since then, every night after dinner, Charles pours himself a small glass of unsweetened cherry juice. He says he not only sleeps better, but feels more lively during the day. Now, how can you enjoy this benefit too? Ideally, consume between 120 and 150 milliliters of natural, unsweetened cherry juice about 1 hour before bedtime. If you prefer the whole fruit, 10 to 15 cherries can have the same effect. Just avoid commercial juices loaded with sugar or preservatives. Those not only fail to help, but can worsen insomnia. And if you're on blood thinners or have diabetes, Always check with your doctor before regularly adding any new food. This first food shows how powerful natural solutions can be when used wisely. Have you heard before that cherries help you sleep better? Have you ever tried cherry juice as part of your bedtime routine? I'd love to hear about it in the comments. Now, let's move on to the second food. And fair warning, this one is so common you probably already have it in your pantry, but you might not be using it the right way. Food. 2. Oatmeal. Next up is the second food, and it might surprise you because you surely have it at home. I'm talking about oatmeal. Yes, that same oatmeal you might use for breakfast or in an old family recipe can also become your best ally for deep sleep. Oatmeal isn't just good for the heart or cholesterol. It also contains a powerful combination of nutrients that promote nighttime rest. Among them, tryptophan, magnesium, and vitamin B6. Tryptophan is an essential amino acid our bodies use to produce serotonin, an emotion-boosting neurotransmitter that then converts into melatonin, the sleep hormone. It's like a natural chain reaction that starts with a bowl of oatmeal and ends with a restorative night's sleep. But that's not all. Oatmeal also helps stabilize blood sugar levels overnight. Why is this important? Because sharp spikes or drops in glucose can cause you to wake up in the middle of the night, hungry, anxious, or even with palpitations. A light dinner featuring oatmeal can help you avoid those surprises and maintain a steady sleep rhythm. Let me tell you about Teresa, a 78-year-old woman who lived alone and had suffered insomnia for over a decade. One day, in a chat with her doctor, he asked, "What do you eat for dinner?" Teresa replied that she often had very little, sometimes just an infusion or a piece of bread. The doctor recommended something simple, a small serving of hot oatmeal with plant-based milk, a dash of cinnamon, and a drizzle of natural honey. Not only would it help her sleep, but it would also give her a sense of well-being. Teresa tried it that very night. Sleep didn't come instantly, but she did notice something different. Her body felt relaxed. Her stomach was satisfied without feeling heavy. And for the first time in a long time, she slept through to the early hours. Since then, that meal has become part of her routine, a little self-care ritual before bed. Now you might ask, how can you include oatmeal in your nightly routine? Here's a simple suggestion. Prepare a small bowl of cooked oats with water or plant-based milk. Add a pinch of cinnamon, a teaspoon of honey, and if you like, some chopped almonds. Eat it 30 to 60 minutes before bedtime. You'll see how, night after night, your body begins to associate it with calm and sleep. Avoid cow's milk if it makes you bloated or hard to digest. Almond or oat milk are gentler, lighter options at this stage of life. Small habits, big transformations. And you, when do you usually eat oatmeal, if at all? Would you like to try it as part of your dinner to sleep better? Let me know in the comments. I love reading what each of you experiences, learns, and applies. Next up, the third food not only helps you sleep, it can also calm anxiety, reduce blood pressure, and bring a sense of peace that carries you from dinner to sunrise. Are you ready to find out? I'll tell you in the next part. Food 3. Banana. The third food I want to talk about is so simple that many people have it in the kitchen and overlook it. It's the banana. Yes, the banana. That humble fruit, easy to find and pleasant to taste, can also be a natural tool to help you sleep better, especially if you eat it in the evening. Why? Bananas are a natural source of tryptophan, the same amino acid we mentioned before that helps the body produce serotonin and melatonin. But in addition, bananas contain magnesium and potassium, two essential minerals that relax muscles, reduce bodily tension, and calm the nervous system. This makes it the perfect food for those nights when you go to bed tense, with racing thoughts, or a sense of restlessness you can't identify. Let me share Hector's story, an 80-year-old man who used to say, "I lie down, but sleep doesn't lie down with me." Every night was the same. A tired body, but an awake mind. He tried meditation, soft music, even supplements, but he couldn't fall asleep. One day, During a talk at the senior center he attended, a nutritionist gave a simple tip: eat half a banana half an hour before bed. Hector, skeptical, tried it that night. He took a small banana, sliced it, sprinkled a bit of cinnamon, and ate it with a warm infusion. That night he slept 6 hours without interruption. Since then, his nighttime ritual includes half a banana. It's not magic, he would say. It's science and consistency. Now, how can you benefit from this? The best way is to eat half a ripe banana 20 to 30 minutes before bedtime. You can eat it plain, with a sprinkle of cinnamon, or even mixed into a small porridge of oatmeal, as we mentioned earlier. Avoid unripe bananas, as they can cause bloating or be hard to digest. And if you have kidney issues or a special low-potassium diet, check with your doctor first. Bananas not only help you fall asleep, but they can also reduce night cramps and improve sleep quality by relaxing your body from the inside. And the best part, it's affordable, natural, and requires no complicated preparation. Sometimes the best solutions are right in front of us. Now I want to hear from you. Do you eat banana at night? Have you noticed any difference in your rest when you do? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to read your experience. And if these foods have surprised you so far, wait until you hear the fourth, because it not only helps you sleep, it's also been studied for its ability to reduce chronic stress in older adults. Food 4. Almonds. Let's move on to the fourth food. One that's not only delicious, but also a small nutritional treasure. Almonds. Yes, those little seeds that sometimes accompany a dessert or sit in a bag in the pantry can make a big difference in your nightly rest. Why? Because almonds are a rich source of magnesium, a mineral that plays a fundamental role in sleep regulation. Magnesium helps lower cortisol levels, the stress hormone, and contributes to relaxing muscles, calming the mind, and preparing the body for sleep. But that's not all. They also contain natural melatonin, and beyond that, their healthy fats, the so-called good fats, help keep blood sugar levels stable through the night, which is key to avoiding sudden awakenings or restless dreams. Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night for no apparent reason? Sometimes that awakening is linked to a sudden drop in glucose. Almonds can help you avoid it. Let me tell you about Julia, a woman of 72 who had tried everything: pills, herbal infusions, breathing exercises, yet her sleep remained fragmented. She always awoke around 3 or 4 in the morning, until, during a medical checkup, her doctor asked if she ate anything at dinner that included healthy fats. Julia said no. She tried to keep it light, just toast or yogurt. The doctor recommended a very simple change: add a small handful of raw, unsalted almonds to her nighttime routine. No roasted nuts, no sugar-coated ones. Raw almonds. Julia tried it. 10 almonds each night, with a glass of water or a warm infusion. By the third night, she slept 8 hours straight without waking. Since then, almonds never go missing from her bedside table. "They're my little natural pills," she says with a smile. Now, you don't need many. 10 or 12 almonds at night is enough. Don't pair them with added sugars or eat them right before lying down. Ideally, 30 to 45 minutes before bedtime. And if you have digestive issues, you can soak them in water a few hours beforehand. That makes them softer and easier to digest. Almonds also have another benefit. They help maintain a gentle feeling of fullness. That way you avoid going to bed hungry or getting up to grab a snack in the middle of the night. So tell me, have you ever tried eating almonds at night? Would you like to include this habit in your routine? Share in the comments. And get ready, because the fifth food we'll talk about is one of the oldest and most powerful natural sleep allies, an ingredient that many cultures have used for centuries and that science today confirms as a true natural sedative. Are you curious to discover it? Food. 5. Cherries or natural cherry juice. And now we arrive at the fifth food, one that has been studied by renowned universities and whose effectiveness at inducing sleep, especially in older adults, is surprising. We're talking about cherries, or more specifically, natural cherry juice. Yes, I know. It's not the first food that comes to mind when we talk about insomnia, But listen closely. Cherries, particularly tart cherries, are one of the few natural sources of melatonin, the hormone that regulates the sleep cycle. Studies have shown that regular consumption of tart cherry juice can significantly increase both the duration and quality of sleep. In older adults, the effects have been especially remarkable. Fewer awakenings during the night, deeper sleep, and more restorative rest. Beyond melatonin, cherries contain antioxidants and anti-inflammatory compounds that help reduce oxidative stress and inflammation in the body. Two factors that also interfere with good rest. Let me tell you a story that will probably sound familiar. Charles, a 75-year-old gentleman, had spent years battling insomnia. His sleep was light, and he woke up several times each night, often unable to fall back asleep. One day, he heard on the radio that natural cherry juice could help. He had nothing to lose by giving it a try. He bought a small bottle of pure juice with no added sugar and drank half a glass 1 hour before bedtime. He didn't expect miracles, but that night he slept 7 continuous hours. And best of all, he woke up feeling refreshed. Since then, he's made that small ritual part of his routine. Not every night is perfect, but in his own words, "I sleep deeper." And that alone is a gift. Now, one important detail. Not all cherries are created equal. The most effective varieties for sleep are tart cherries, like Montmorency cherries. If you can get them fresh, even better. But if not, natural juice with no added sugars is an excellent option. What's the dose? About half a glass, 40 to 60 minutes before lying down. If you prefer the fruit itself, 10 to 15 cherries should suffice. And if you can't find tart cherries, you can try natural cherry concentrate or extract capsules, always checking with your doctor or nutritionist first. Just avoid processed versions with added sugars or artificial flavors. In this case, natural makes all the difference. So there you have it, a small fruit with big benefits, a sweet gift for nights when rest feels elusive. And you, did you know about cherries' sleep-promoting effect? Have you ever tried them at night? Or will you give it a go after hearing this? Let me know your experience in the comments. I'd love to know where you're watching from, how old you are, and what your current sleep routine looks like. In the next and final part of this video, we'll recap everything we've learned, and I'll share additional tips so you can incorporate these foods into a simple, realistic, and effective routine. I'll see you there. Summary, recommended routine, and final reflection. We've reached the end of this journey, and before we say goodbye, let's take a moment to review the most important points together. Today we talked about 5 foods that are not only delicious, but can help you regain something very precious: rest. 5 natural allies that, according to science, can help you sleep better, wake up with more energy, and live your days with greater vitality. Do you remember them? First, the ripe banana, a natural source of magnesium and tryptophan. It helps relax muscles and prepare the body for sleep. Second, chamomile infusion, a gentle, age-old drink that soothes the mind, reduces anxiety, and promotes deep rest. Third, oatmeal, nourishing, comforting, and rich in melatonin and vitamin B6. Perfect for a light dinner that both feeds and calms. Fourth, almonds, small but powerful, rich in magnesium, healthy fats, and protein. They relax the body and stabilize blood sugar through the night. And fifth, cherries or natural tart cherry juice, one of the few fruits with natural melatonin. Studies show they can lengthen sleep duration and improve its quality. Now you may be thinking, how do I include all this in my daily life without making it complicated? Don't worry. Here's a simple suggestion for a nightly routine. 1 hour before bed, turn off screens, dim the lights, and create a calm environment. Prepare a cup of hot chamomile. If you like, add a teaspoon of natural honey. 30 minutes later, eat a small handful of almonds. If you have natural cherry juice, drink half a glass 20 minutes before going to bed. And if you feel hungry, have something light and nourishing like a small portion of oatmeal topped with banana slices. Nothing complicated, nothing artificial, just ingredients that have been with us all our lives, and that we're now rediscovering as gentle, wise, natural medicine. Remember something very important. Sleep isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. It's the time when your body regenerates, your mind clears, and your emotions balance. Sleeping well isn't just about living longer, it's about living better. And if you, watching this right now, have been struggling with insomnia, long nights, and racing thoughts, I want to tell you something simple, but very important. You are not alone. Thousands of older adults around the world are experiencing the same thing. And here on this channel, we're building a space to support each other, learn together, and care for one another. So now I ask you, from the heart, which of these 5 foods would you like to try tonight? Where in the world are you watching from? And how old are you? Leave it in the comments. I'll love reading you. And if this video helped you, don't forget to give it a like, share it with someone who needs it, and of course subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you for joining me today. I hope that tonight you rest better. See you very soon in the next video. Until then, may you sleep deeply and dream sweetly.